welcome to today's episode of Afro Scientific Spirituality. My name is Ife West. If this is your first time on this channel, you are highly welcome. This is a place where we separate the facts from the fiction, the science from the superstitions, and the concept from the misconceptions about African spirituality. Today, I will be talking about the 4 elements of nature and their elementals. That is the spirit that animates them. You know, in nature we have 5 elements, which are earth, water, fire, air, and spirits. I have talked about this before in previous videos. If you are practicing African spirituality or any kind of spirituality, you should know about these 5 elements of nature. Except you are a Christian or a Muslim. It's only those 2 religions that do not teach their people about the 5 elements of nature. Christians don't know it, Muslims don't know it because their religious fathers don't want them to know. But if you are in Hinduism, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, Shintoism, African spirituality, even Judaism, teach about the 5 elements of nature: earth, water, fire, air, spirits. These are the components, the building blocks of nature. You will see them in the world. There's nothing evil about them. These are natural elements, okay? There's nothing evil about them. Don't let Christianity deceive you. You need to know about these 5 elements. For anything to happen, for any sort of manifestation to be enacted or to come into fusion, these 5 elements needs to be present. These 5 elements is what is represented in the pentagram. The 5-star pentagram represent these 5 elements, okay? So today I will be talking about 4 of them. In my previous video, I have talked about the 5 elements. The 5th, which is spirits, that 5th element is you. You are the force that will bring them together, that will gather them, that will now make your pronouncement or invocation to bring your own manifestation to this physical universe or to reality. So you are the 5th one, the spirits that will bring everything together, that joins them all, the ether in this case. For these 4 elements, they have their own spirits. Today, I want to talk about the spirits of these 4 elements individually. Some of us know them, some of us don't know them. So for greater clarity, I want us to elucidate on them today, so that people will understand them very well. The first one I will talk about is the element of fire. As you know, fire is a part of nature. We use fire for so many things. It is represented by the sun. The sun is a ball of fire. The sun is the strongest power in this our solar system. It gives light and life to everything. It powers all the other forces that we have. Without the sun, there will be no life on this earth. There will be no solar system that we have now. So the sun is the greatest power. That is why ancient Africans and spiritual people, they worship the sun. They call the sun our father. When you say the prayer, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, you are praying to the sun. That prayer, the Lord's prayer, is dedicated to the sun god from ancient Kemet. The Christians stole that prayer into their own book. This is the prayer ancient Africans used to pray when they wake up in the morning. They pray to the sun. That prayer is dedicated to the sun. That prayer was originally to Amen-Ra. Okay, we worship the sun. So we Africans, we are always children of the sun. We draw energy from the sun. We draw inspiration from the sun. So sun is one of the elements of nature. In our day-to-day life, we use fire for almost everything. There is no day we cannot live without using fire for one thing or another. We use it for cooking, we use it for warming, we use it for processing, manufacturing. Fire is part of this. Without no fire on this world, we will not have life. Fire is part of our elemental quality. Fire is one of the major force of the elements we have on this planet. We use it for almost everything. Without fire, we can't survive. So this fire that we have, there is a spirit behind it. Just as we humans have our own spirits that is animating us, the one animating me now, my own spirit. Fire, they each have their own spirit, and every fire is alive. Every fire you bring into manifestation, whether it's a candle fire, regular cooking fire, they are all alive. You need to know this. They all have their own spirit inside them. They have their own soul inside them. They have their own life inside them. So the spirits that we see in this fire, they are represented by different things. The white people, they call this spirit the salamander, the fire lizard. You can see this is a lizard that we have in Mexico, in Latin America, that have the capacity to grow himself back. Even if you cut it into two, you even cut half of his brain, it will grow back, it will not die. That is one of the spirits of the fire element. That is one of the shapes that fire used to manifest, something that does not die. So ancient people, they use the salamander as a representation of this spirit of fire. Where they invoke the spirit of fire, they say the salamander. In Asia, China, the spirit they invoke is the dragon. Where they invoke the spirit of fire, they see the dragon. Dragon have the fire element because dragon breathes fire. So it is their own representative of that very force, that very deity. Then in the desert region of the world, the fire element is represented by the jinn. We have what they call jinn spirits. These are spirits that you find in anywhere that is hot, anywhere that is tropical. They are all over the world, but they are very bountiful in desert regions. So people in the deserts, the spirit that they are always in constant communication with are jinn spirits. Jinn spirits are spirits that are made up of fire elements. Okay, they are made up of fire elements. They are always burning, and they are very fast to manifest and bring things into reality. We have a lot of them in Africa. Some of our African ancestors, the transition, they become jinns. Depends on the personality of the individual and the kind of deities they were venerating during their lifetime. So we have a lot of jinn spirits in Africa. We also have different types of spirits, but you're going to find them a lot in the desert regions. So you're going to see Arabian people, Arab people, they always work with jinns because you can find them anywhere the sun is very hot and the place is very, very dry. That is where you're going to find most of these fire elementals spirits, but you can find them in anywhere tropical. Okay, so the spirit that is used to represent them is the jinn spirit, or the dragon, or the salamander. In West Africa, a deity that represents fire is Ogun. Ogun is the god of iron and fire. Ogun is a jinn. Okay, the African deity, the Orisha of Ogun. Ogun is a jinn deity. When it comes with a lot of heat, a lot of fire, a lot of brute force. It's very fast to do his work. I can say Ogun is a jinn spirit. It's made up of the element of fire and iron and fire. This is the element of Ogun. Okay, something like a missile, something like that. Ogun has that force of an explosion, rapid fire, like a volcano or something like that. So Ogun can very well be a jinn spirit if you want to use a Western term to describe it. But Ogun represents the element of fire and iron. Okay, so this is one of the heat elements we have. This is one of the fire elements we have in African spirituality. Then we talk about the second element, which is water. This one is very, very common in West Africa, especially in the southern part of Nigeria. The major spirit that people know a lot are the water spirits, because we have a lot of rivers running everywhere. If you're living near the sea, there is no way you will not make contact with these deities. There are so many in Nigeria, so many in West Africa. Anywhere there is sea, we have the water spirits. And of course, the most popular one is Oshun. Oshun is a water deity. And Oya, Moja, these are water elementals. Then we have Mami water. The Mami waters are the spirits, I will say the children of Oshun. They are the they are the elements, the elementals of water. So anywhere there are water, anywhere there is river or sea, you're going to see mermaids inside. You must see mermaids. They are half fish, half humans. This is the way they are. Everybody knows them, the Little Mermaids. It is the film dedicated to water elementals. Okay, these are the spirits of water. They are not evil spirits the way your Christian church will want to make them. They are the spirit behind the water. Okay, just like we humans have our own spirit of nature, these are spirits of nature. Okay, this is the spirit. When you make contact with water deities, the spirit behind those water you see, those river, they are responsible for it. They are the life force of the river and the sea. When we do offerings, we make contact, we do veneration, they are the ones we giving the stuff to. They are the ones that we carry the petitions to. They are principal deities like Oshun, Oya, Holokun. Okay, all these are water deities. They are primordial, and water is life. They are very, very ancient. I have done so many videos about the water deities. For you to get in touch with the oldest and deepest, darkest ones, you need to do your water offerings in the night time. If you can be able to get a boat, go into the sea or into the river during the night, 1, 2, to do your offering, you are going to make contact with very, very old and ancient water deities, those ones that don't even come up to the shore. This is the best time to make contact with them. They are there, they are in different forms, they exist. Okay, these forces I'm talking about, they are not mythical creatures. They actually exist. Okay, if you find them, you will see them. A lot of people have seen them. Okay, I have also made contact with them as well. They actually exist. They are forces of nature, just like we exist. They also exist. They have their own world, their own kingdom, their own structure. So these are mermaids. They are the water deities representing the water elements. Okay, then the next one I will talk about is the element of heads. This one is the most controversial one. We have talked about this one a lot in my WhatsApp forum. These ones are the head elementals. These ones are responsible for the heads and for plants, for the forests, for gardens, for anything that have to do with vegetation and solid minerals. These spirits, they call them dwarf. In West Africa, they call them the dwarf spirits. You can find them in any jungle, in anywhere there is vegetation. People call them dwarf, short spirits. The English, they call them gnomes. Gnomes, short, very short spirit. They are responsible for planting trees, planting vegetation, planting weeds, for the general growth of development of nature. Okay, in West Africa we call them dwarf. There are lots of them in Ghana. These spirits are apparently they like to live where there are precious metals like gold. They stay near those kind of places where there's thick vegetation and where there's precious minerals under the soil, especially gold. Probably that is why there are lots of them in Ghana. They know them a lot in Ghana. You know, Ghana have a lot of gold inside there. So I won't be surprised when many Ghana people say they have many dwarfs there. They always find them. If you see them somewhere, just know that there must be a lot of precious minerals there, probably guiding it. I don't know if they are mining it, but they are always where there is gold. Okay, you see a lot of them there. They like gold a lot for whatever reason, I don't know. So we have lots of them in Ghana. They are short spirits. They are very, very witty. Some of them are crafty. They are mischievous. But people work with them. You also contact them. If you go into the forest a lot, you will meet these spirits. A lot of people have seen them in the forest. They are short. They have different shapes. Some of them look like rock. Some of them look like plants. They make contact with humans, especially little children. Little children see them a lot. They like children, and they like to play. They play a lot, and they are nice spirits. They are not harmful, but if you look for their trouble, you will regret it. They are good spirits in all. They are gnomes. People call them dwarfs. They are different from the twa. Okay, they are also popular in fairy tales all over the world. People know them. You see them in movies. You see them in this Christmas and fairy tale. They are always helping Santa Claus. These kind of things. People also venerate them again. For people that are into drilling, farming, anything to do with land and soil, this is a spirit you want to get in contact with. Agriculture, these are the spirits you want to be working with. They can help you in this very regard to make your farm become more bountiful. You need to be giving offerings to this one. An African deity that works in this field is Osinye, or Osin, the Yoruba deity called Osin. Osin is the king of these gnomes. In Urobo, we call him Aziza. Aziza is a deity of the forests in charge of vegetation, agriculture, and maintaining general law and order. Aziza is sort of a composite deity. Aziza also have genes. We have the ones that are like jinn. We have the ones that are nature. The ones that are jinn are the Aziza of war. Those ones that go to war there. Have the fire spirit. They are like Ogun in a way. Then we also have Aziza that are like nature spirits. This one you just find them in the jungle. They are not warlike. It's into herbology. It teach people how to mix herb, tell people the secret of plants, the secret of different leaves, how to mix them, how to use them to help yourself. Many people have seen Aziza, this very common and popular spirit, especially in Delta states. We have it. It's one of our primary deity in Delta state in Nigeria. It's very common. He has one leg, walks with a walking stick, and sometimes carries bell. It's short. Some of them are short, some of them are tall. A lot of people see them when you go into the bush. You will see this spirit a lot. It's one of our nature spirits that we have here in West Africa, in Nigeria, Delta state. This spirit is very, very present and active here. Okay. Then the last one that I will talk about is the spirit of the air. Of course, all of you know this one. These ones are the air elementals. We call them fairies. Yes, they are fairies. They are tiny. Some of them are big. Some of them are small. They are wing creatures. They fly. They have wings. Most people mistake fairies for angels. Okay? Angels are totally different. Angels are celestial deities. These are deities that live in the firmament, in the constellations, from outer space or from other galaxies. Some of them might be from other galaxies, from other planets. Some of them exist in different bodies in our solar system, in the stars, in the zodiac signs. Each zodiac sphere have their own spirit guiding it. Okay, these angels, we also call angels, they are spirits of these celestial bodies. We have archangels, we have regular angels, we have different type of them. Then we have fairies. Fairies are simply air elementals. They are not angels. A lot of people see these fairies and will be claiming that they see angels. Fairies are not angels, please. Know the difference, okay? There's a way you will see an angel, and when you see a fairy, there's a difference. Angels are totally different from them, but they have the same kind of structure, but fairies are much more lighter. Angels are much more dense, and they are bigger. They look bigger, stronger, more powerful. They have more responsibilities. What I will say is that I'm not trying to look down on fairies. So fairies are very important, but fairies and angels are different. Okay, try to know the difference. Okay, so we have these fairies. They have the spirit of air, energetic quality, mercury, something that is flowing very, very fast, that is moving very fast, that anything that have to do with air, communication, reading, learning, your mental faculties. For the fairies, we have a deity that is in charge of these air elementals in West Africa, and we call that spirit Shango. Shango is the god of thunder and lightning. Okay, Shango is in charge of that department. So anything that have to do with air, that have to do with electromagnetic communication, sending of airwaves, receiving signals, internet communication, flying, Shango is that deity that is in charge of it. The kind of a Western counterpart of Shango is the god Thor. If you know mighty Thor in Marvel, that is the Greek version of Shango. What Shango is doing, that is the same thing that deity is doing. I will say that deity might be a copy of Shango. Okay, they are the same. Thor is the god of thunder and lightning. Shango is the god of thunder and lightning in West Africa. So which one comes first? I believe Thor is a copy of Shango because we are here first before those people. So Thor is a copy of Shango. Okay, Shango is the god of thunder and lightning, in charge of the air elementals in West Africa. So if you want to do anything with respect to that, Shango is in charge of that division. Okay, so we have these spirits representing these four elements of nature in West Africa. Okay, now you can also have spirits that have composite or multiple qualities. You can see a spirit that have air element, also have water elements. There are also deities like this as well. Just like we humans, we have the five elements in us already. Okay, we are made of these five elements. It's represented in us, and we have the capacity to work with any of the elementals. Now you're going to see a misconception in African spirituality where some people will say, I am water element, I am fire element. Especially in West Africa, our so-called West African spirituality, the only thing they know is water. And they don't even know about the rest three. They'll say everybody you see practicing African spirituality say, I'm water element, I'm a water child. Water is not the only element, it's just an aspect of it. We have the four elements already in us. You can work with anyone you want to work with. Okay, I work with multiple elements. I represent them. They are already inside of me. Okay, for those people that are claiming they are just only one element, is a misconception. They don't know what they are saying. It is they don't understand this, how this works. We humans can work with the four elements because they are already inside us. When you doing a spell, you casting a spell, you bring in candle, that represents fire. Your libation represents water. When you point the libation to the ground, it represents earth. Okay, then when you speaking, doing your gyrations, making your pronouncements, you talking to the air, you pushing your own spirit into these four elements. You are the one that is the fifth one, because you're now manifesting and now making pronouncements with the aim of changing reality. You are pushing your will into reality. With all these other four elements present, coupled with the mixture of your herbs or your entries, everything you have come together, everything you have put together, you now have to push your will into this thing to bring it into manifestation. So you becoming the fifth element, we bring the key, is the final key that we make everything work. Okay, so it's not enough to bring them together. When you bring it together, you have to also add yourself to these circuits, then make your pronouncement, make your invocation, then push it into the universe. So that way it becomes a complete circuit board for anything you are manifesting, for anything you are trying to manifest to come to reality. So this is how it works. So this is what I have for you today. Questions or comments are welcome. Please like and share this video. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell close to the subscribe button, that you'll be the first to get my videos as soon as I release them. Then if you want to practice African spirituality, my website is here, River of Knowledge. Please try to register on the website. I have lots of materials that will teach you about African spirituality from a pure Afrocentric perspective, and in a very concise and easy to understand fashion. You don't need to travel to Africa. You don't need to do any expensive initiation. You don't need to be afraid of anything. You are going to learn it very, very easy, and it will empower you. It will bring liberation and freedom and prosperity to you. Okay, then if you like to read my book on quantum physics and African spirituality, the book is a very concise book that will show you the scientific aspect and validity of African spirituality. It's an e-copy. I have it here. Then if you want to do your love spell, breakup, exes, packs, the whole 9 yards, my WhatsApp number is on the screen. Your consultation tarot reading, my number is on the screen. Okay, so with that being said, I thank you very much, and of course I'll be seeing you in the next video as usual. So take care and bye. Peace.